Welcome, music lovers, to Big Sandy's Eclectic American Countdown Show. Let's start right here with a group from Washington, D.C., who came together while in high school in 1946. They synthesized the earlier vocal group harmony traditions with the newly rising rhythm and blues sounds. But they really hit their stride in the 50s on the Atlantic record label. They had hit after hit. Here are the Clovers.
Little mama, I took your loving, but it wasn't true to you. Little mama, I took your loving, but it wasn't true to you. Now you're leaving, little mama, I can't blame you if you do. Little mama, I lied.
Yes, I lied.
Lied all along.
All along.
Little mama, I lied.
Well, I lied.
Lied all along.
All along.
Later on, little mama.
Little
Yes,
mama.
and I did you mighty wrong.
Mighty wrong.
Little mama, I told your good friend, told your sister Mary too. Little mama, I told your good friend, told your sister Mary too. That all I ever wanted was to get your gold from you. Little mama, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry to my heart.
To my heart.
Little mama, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry.
To my heart.
To my heart.
Had the best intentions.
Yes,
Baby, right
intentions.
from the start.
From the start.
I'm gonna miss you when you put me on the shelf. Little mama, I'm gonna miss you when you put me on the shelf. Ain't nothing I can tell you didn't find out yourself. Little mama, I love you.
Where I do.
Little mama, I love you.
Can't be true.
Little mama, I love you.
Please don't go.
Little mama, I miss you.
Please don't.
Little mama, I don't want nobody but you. Walk down the street, she walk so rude, she talk so sweet. Hey, Miss Fanny, you sure look fine. Tell me, please, will you be mine? Hey, now, Miss Fanny. Hey, now, please be mine. You've become my heart disease. Listen to me, baby, please. You got me just mad for you. Please don't drive me crazy too. Hey, now, Miss Fanny. Hey, now, please be mine. Let's go out and have a ball. I love you, baby, that ain't all. I don't care what your mama say. We'll have a good time anyway. Hey, now, Miss Fanny. Hey, now, please be mine. Come on, baby, let's go downtown. Rock, jump, and mess around. We go to cabarets and bars. We'll hang out after hours. Hey, now, Miss Fanny. Hey, now, please be mine. Sugar sweet, and so are you. I'm just crazy about the way you do. Our heartstrings just go sing, sing. Every time you strut that thing. Hey, now, Miss Fanny. Hey, now, please be mine.
For the big hit recordings around the country right now is a song called The Great Pretender. We have with us tonight the group that made the song the hit it is. And here they are now, the Platters.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. My need is such, I pretend too much. I'm lonely, but no one can tell. Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Adrift in a world of my own. I play the game, but to my real shame, you've left me all alone. To real is this feeling of make believe. To real when I feel what my heart can't conceal. Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Just laughing and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown. Pretending that you're still around. To real is this feeling of make-believe. To real when I feel what my heart can conceive. Yes, I'm the great pretender. Just laughing and gay like a clown. I seem to be what I'm not. You see, I'm wearing my heart like a crown. Pretending that you're still around. Still around.
From Los Angeles, California, one of the truly classic groups of the genre, the Platters. The Platters started out on the Federal label, and then after a couple of lineup changes, they went on to have some of the biggest hits of the 50s, led by Tony Williams, who you heard right there. When I was a teenager, I was so fortunate I had a chance to see the Platters at the Anaheim Convention Center, and hearing that man's voice, the guy right there, Tony Williams, hearing that voice fill the hall was one of the thrills of my young lifetime. The Platters. And now, let's check out a couple of scenes from an obscure British film called Sweet Beat, which was later released here in the United States under the name The Amorous Sex, with added scenes of strippers and one topless scene. No such thing here, unfortunately. But better yet, we have, right now, the Mellow Kings on the Five Satins.
You'll like this place, Bonnie. The food and wine are excellent. And as for the show, You'll see for yourself.
I love you forever as I love you tonight. Love you tonight.
And now, some very rare doo-wop footage. This just surfaced a few short weeks ago. Not many have seen it yet. The name of this group, and of any of the members of the group, Lost to Time. I have a feeling that maybe over the next few weeks, some more details will emerge. But for now, an eclectic American Roots exclusive. I do know that these guys were most likely students of Paxson High School in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's just sit back and take a look now. Enjoy it.
Well, I wonder, Ooby-Doo, who wrote the book of love? Tell me, oh, who wrote the book of love? I want to know the answer. Was it someone from afar? Well, I wonder, Ooby-Doo, who wrote the book of love? I love you, darling, baby, you know I do. But I've got to see this book of love to find out why it's true. Well, I wonder, Ooby-Doo, who wrote the book of love? Chapter 1 says you love her with all your heart. Chapter 2, you tell her you never going to part. In Chapter 3, remember the meaning of romance. In Chapter 4, you break up, but you give it just one more chance. Well, I wonder, Ooby-Doo, who wrote the book of love? Tell me, oh, who wrote the book of love? I want to know the answer. Was it someone from afar? Well, I wonder, Ooby-Doo, who wrote the book of love?
Okay. When I come back, I have some really rare footage that I'm really excited to share. So I'll see you in a bit. Big Sandy's Eclectic American Countdown Show. In just a moment, we're going to take a special look at the pride of Fort Fairfield, Maine, easy for you to say, Dick Curless. But first, the returning champion of Honky Tonk. And this one goes out to you, Mr. Lopez, the great Ray Price.
Now here's the Cherokee cowboy Ray Price to sing your great song called Heart Over Mind.
I love you so much that I can't leave you, even though my mind tells me I should. But when you come back and tell me you still love me, all my thoughts of leaving do no good. You got me heart over mind, worried all the time, knowing you will always be the same. You'll keep hurting me, I know, but I still can't let you go, 'cause my heart won't let my love for you change. Friends tell me they see you out with others, and in my heart I try hard to forget. But when you come by I still hope there's some chance for us yet. You got me heart over mind, we're it all the time, knowing you will always be the same. You'll keep hurting me, I know, but I still can't let you go, 'cause my heart won't let my love for you change.
All you big and burly men who roll the trucks along, better listen, you'll be thankful when you hear my song. You have really got it made if you're all in goods, any place on earth but those Haynesville woods. It's a stretch of road up north in Maine that's never, ever, ever seen a smile. If they buried all the truckers lost in them woods, there'd be a tombstone every mile. Count them all. There'd be a tombstone every mile. Well, you got my heart a feeling you the junkie, the load of blood that gets mighty, mighty bumpy. Tell me, pretty mama, have I filled your heart with hate? With someone new you're affiliated and it's making me feel like I'm outdated. If I don't love you, grits ain't groceries, and that's the name of poor man's plate. Well, now, let me know, honey, tell me what's the matter, let me know what's on your mind. If I don't love you, ain't I contact list? The reason I'm there all the time. I don't want to sound like I'm demanding. I just want to get a little understanding. If I don't love you, it ain't groceries, and that's the name of poor man's plate.
Got a mess of blues on my mind, and at least a million miles behind me, and all that I've got between me and Barbers Hill is a wrinkled, crinkled water dollar bill. Lake Michigan wind sure is cold, and I need me a jacket for my shoulder. I can get one at the surplus store, cheap cotton twill, with my wrinkled, crinkled wadded dollar bill. For I'm not bound and never will be to a wrinkled, crinkled wadded dollar bill.
Misbehaving, spending all of your pay on wine, women and song. Well, I'm a-making bed, you're out of making time. You rob my piggy bank and spend my last 10 dime on wine, women and song. Well, one of these nights you're gonna come home, you'll find it's coming home to you. You see what you've done. What's good for one, it's also good for two. When you're in the doghouse with that mangy old pup, you may start to thinking and a giving up the old wine. Woman and song. start to thinking and a giving up the old wine. Woman and song.
The Honky Tonk Girl herself, and the Honky Tonk hero of many, Loretta Lynn, still one of the greats.
How's everybody doing out there?
Big Sandy's Eclectic American Countdown Show.
Live to the entire world with our streaming. Let's come on as soon as the show starts. I want to thank everybody for being so patient with the service. But how do we do?
Don't sing with food in your mouth now. I don't want anybody choking. Ricky got the quarters for the table and broke while I pulled hard on the sorrow and smoke. Alrighty. My drinking days are over. No more nights at the carousel. My buddies say they're gonna miss me, but who could ever tell? I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. I used to hang at the Horseshoe. You'd see me spinning at the Broken Spoke. I'd take some gal down to Green Hall. We lived on whiskey and smoke. Don't know how it all started. Didn't mean to hurt no one. Some bad luck, what's done can't be undone. Well, it was way past midnight. Anita hollered out, last call. I turned around and Wranglin' Ron was headed for a brawl. I didn't know that other guy was a cop. I guess I didn't care. And sometimes you gotta act like you got a pair. That's what Wranglin' Ron said to me one time. My drinking days are over. No more nights at the carousel. No more fights, no more neon lights. I guess it's just as well. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. Well, I got a ride out to Huntsville, and I'll be there for a while, staring out a mesh window, mile after mile. I don't have any regrets, well, maybe just a few, but a man's gonna do what he's gonna do. My drinking days are over, no more nights at the carousel. My buddies say they're gonna miss me, they can go to hell. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. I never knew what time it was till closing time came round. My drinking days are over, but I'm still trouble bound. My drinking days are over. What a great sounding crowd on a Sunday night. Wow. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful welcome after 6.5 hours on the highway today. That's some rough road. Woo-wee. Glad that's over. I wish I could say you're a really great looking crowd, but I can't see with the lights very well. I should get a cowboy hat. Oh, there you are. It is a great looking crowd. Yeah, how you doing there? Good to see you. All right. Here's a song from my latest record. It came out 4.5 years ago. I know. 3 scruples to a dram, boys. 8 drams to an ounce. 2 cups will make you a pint now, and the first one's on the house. The drunkard craves just another. The blind man craves the eye. The poor man dreams of riches, and a martyr prays to die. I don't need to read the papers or the tea leaves to understand that this world's been shaved by a drunken barber's hand. I've drowned in the pool of young love, known the high and the hurt. I felt the heartbeat quicken at the sight of a lifted skirt. I've thrilled to the big sound, felt the rumble and the roar. Drove straight through the blackest night in a chase forevermore. And I don't need to read the papers or the tea leaves to understand. This world's been shaved by a drunken barber's hand. I rode 10,000 miles on a carousel horse of wood. We all end up where we started, get right back on if we could. So go ahead and make your confession to a washed up whiskey thief. Oh, that's not right. To a washed up whiskey priest. I'll be putting my money down on the rough and slouching beast, 'cause I don't need to read the papers or the tea leaves to understand. This world's been shaved by a drunken barber's hand. I don't need to read the papers to know the heart of man. This world's been shaved by a broken, drunken barber's hand. Sherry had a pawn shop band of gold, a sink full of dishes, and a love grown cold. Long came a boy, pretty as the devil. She took his hand, the whole thing unraveled. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Billy took the ring, jammed it in his pocket, drove downtown and tried to hawk it. Down at the bottom of Lake Pontchartrain, there's a love note carved inside a wedding ring. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn down parade, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. Ain't no telling where love goes, maybe down where the Black River flows. I'll be coming back round, it's broke down. Baby in the backseat and another on the way. Sherry thinks of Billy at the end of every day. Spends her nights waiting for real life to start, listening to the sound of her double-crossed heart. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. There's no turning round, it's broke down. On the other side of town, two lovers lie still, cigarette smoking on a windowsill. There's a picture locked up in an old suitcase. Billy closes his eyes, but he still sees her face. Broke down, cracked and shattered, left in pieces like it never even mattered. Broke down, torn down parade, ain't nothing left you could give away. There's no turning round, it's broke down. It's broke down. Thanks so much. Broke Down, that was a very important song in my career development. I would say before Broke Down, I was totally obscure, and after Broke Down, I became relatively obscure. About 21 years ago. And that's all I need to pay the bills. I'm doing fine. Nice full house on a Sunday night in Los Angeles, yeah. Doing all right. I only wrote a few lines of that song. Most of that song was written by my childhood friend, Rod Picott. Got any Picott fans out there? All right, excellent. South Berwick, Maine, that's right. That's where we grew up. We met on the school bus. I got on the school bus first day of school. I looked up and down the aisles and I said, that's the only other singer-songwriter type on the bus. I'm gonna sit next to him. Struck up a friendship. A few years later, we started a garage band called the Magic Rats, 1981. Played in Rod's father's garage, Dick Pycott's garage. We were literally a garage band. I think we had 4 gigs. We played at 2 high school assemblies and 2 parties in the neighborhood, both of which were shut down by the cops, which we thought was a perfect record. Bless old Dick Pycott's heart. He had to move all his tools and his lawnmowers and stuff into one corner of the garage so we could build a big drum riser for our drummer and a little stage set for our PA system and everything. And we were dedicated, man. But Pycott's dad, he'd have to listen to us practice into the night. Sometimes he'd shut the power off on us. That was a subtle hint that it was time to quit. Because he had to get up early and drive down the road to the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, where he worked on nuclear submarines all night long. My father was a welder down at the Navy Yard, up on the North Atlantic, where the winters come down hard. A union job, some overtime, nobody would complain. He went to work with humble pride through the snow and rain. Some things you're born to, some things you gotta learn. My father built his world on bone, muscle, and blood, and welding burns. After work there was some drinking, he'd get a little rough, just to knock the edges off, but he never got enough. He'd hang his coat up by the door and light a cigarette. Mom would take his supper out and turn off the TV set. Some things you're born to, some things you gotta learn. My father built his world on bone, muscle, and blood, and welding burns. I can see him down at Lee's Mills Pond with the August sun warming her brown skin. He promised he'd take her away, but I think he knew even way back then, way back then. Mama said they're hiring, no need to graduate. Maybe your dad could make a call to the 788. I always thought I'd get away, I thought I would rise above. I don't remember anymore what I was dreaming of. Some things you're born to, some things you'd better learn. My father was born bone, muscle, and blood, and welding burns. Some things you're born to, some things you gotta learn. My father built his world on bone, muscle, and blood, and welding burns. Thank you so much. I'll do one more that I wrote with old Rod Pycott here. This one, on the surface, sounds like another automotive-themed song, you know, broke down. This is called Primer Gray. But under the hood, you'll see that it's more of a kind of a father-son study, I guess. Kind of like the last one. I pulled the engine with a block and chain, got the oil pump in just before the rain. In the gravel drive, it's a Pontiac. Come the weekend, you'll find me at the track. It's a 74, Dad bought it new, still mostly stock, and it's rusted through. I only worry about what's underneath. What she looks like don't mean a dime to me. 'Cause you don't need that flash and shine. You just need to be hard off the line. So keep your lacquer, your chrome and flames. I'll paint mine primer gray. Some men are rich and they'll let you know. Some guys act tough, it's all a show. I know the things men hold inside are all about the same when you turn out the lights. 'Cause you don't need that flash and shine. You just need to be hard off the line. So keep your lacquer, your chrome and flames. I'll paint mine primer gray. Dad was pretty fast back in the day. Bring that trophy home now, Mama used to say. They sit there on the shelf, gathering dust. Luck turns to loss, and chrome to rust. I've got that car, detailed and tuned. My boy's 16, he'll be driving soon. But he won't drive that old 74. Kids today, they all want something more. But you don't need that flash and shine. You just need to be hard off the line. So keep your lacquer, your chrome and flames. I'll paint mine primer gray. It's what you do, not what you say. I'll paint mine primer gray. Thank you. So yeah, a little father and son song there. I guess 2 in a row father and son songs. You know what's, just before the pandemic, I noticed that at my shows, this was happening almost every single night. There would be a few tables in the audience that were comprised of parents and children, like grown children. And do we have any multi-generational tables here tonight? Any parents with their kids? Yeah, there's one in the front, right? Just one? Oh, okay. You're breaking my theory here. It was like 4 or 5 tables a couple nights ago. But my theory is that the parents bought the Broke Down record when it came out in 2000, and the kids were strapped into car seats in the back of the minivan and inundated with songs about lumberjacks and bar rooms and stuff. So I just love seeing that. I love parents and children coming to my shows together, because I bonded with my folks over music. You know, through the ups and downs of childhood and rebellion and adolescence, it was always a bond. With my parents, I had really great taste in music, and they grew up in the 50s and 60s, so I had, you know, original Elvis and Chuck Berry and Johnny Cash and Hank Williams records growing up. That was the first stuff I heard as a baby, so that's why I'm a songwriter, I guess. And even this guitar here, my dad bought this guitar in 1965 when I was a baby, and he played it around the house for me and my little brothers when we were really little. He'd play this one for us. Well, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't buy no beer. That was my favorite when I was 4. So about 30 years ago, I set out on my career, and I was playing a cheap Yamaha guitar, and I realized that my dad had a much nicer guitar under the bed in a case. He wasn't playing anymore. So I asked him if I could borrow it, and he said sure. And I never gave it back to him. but I wrote a song for him in his honor, and we called it Even. Well, I don't like the wild, sorry, tongue-tied. Well, I don't know why I like to play guitar, riding around the country from bar to bar. I'm just living the dream that I always had. I guess I must have got it from my dad. You see, my daddy bought a Gibson, I was 1 year old. I listened to the songs and the stories he told. Well, I picked up that guitar when I was just a lad. I guess I must have got it from my dad. In the spring of '57, he turned 18, playing Elvis, Hank, Buddy, and Jane. I found his old records in the attic one day. My daddy was rocking in the USA. Well, I grabbed that guitar and I left home one day. Daddy never seemed to play it anymore anyway. Said, take it, son, I could tell that you want it bad. I guess I must have got it from my dad. Now, if I was as talented as Robbie Fulks, I'd play a guitar solo right now, but it's just not in my wheelhouse. Well, I don't like the songs on the radio. They don't seem very true or real, you know. I like old Hank Williams, lonesome and sad. Guess I must have got it from my dad. In the spring of '57, he turned 18, playing Elvis and Hank, Buddy, and Jane. I found his old records in the attic one day. My daddy was rocking in the USA. People say that I'm crazy and I'll never win. Gonna keep on rocking till my ship comes in. It's a lifelong dream, not a passing fad. Guess I must have got it from my dad. I'm just living the dream that he always had. I guess I must have got it from my dad. Oh, thank you. So he came to a lot of shows and requested that song, and told me with a straight face, he said, Slaid, I really do think that's the best song you've ever written. It's not. Well, let's see. We got a request here for Brad. Wanted to hear a song called Gone that I wrote with another childhood friend. Yeah. Is Brad here tonight? Did Brad make it? Are you? Oh, I see. Good to see you, Brad. Hey, he's got a Drinking Days t-shirt on, too. All right. Excellent. Those are out of print now, collector's items. Yeah. Gone, I wrote with my friend Nicole St. Pierre, who I've known since junior high. And we wrote it, the whole genesis of this song came from something her grandmother used to say that we thought was funny. If she lost something, like she lost her reading glasses, she'd say, now where are those reading glasses? I set them down on the table, I turned around, and there they were, gone. I was going on 12 and she was just 9, passing around her little valentines with the devil dancing there in her eyes, teasing someday she would be my bride. I said, you're just a little girl, now go on. And as soon as I turned around, there she was gone. There she was gone. I started thinking about her every day. I started singing a young love song. There she was gone. We're out of school now and she's my girl, but a restless soul needs to see the world. I search for a promise in those dancing eyes. Would she settle down by my side? She whispers in my ear, babe, you can't hold on. So I opened up my arms and there she was gone. there she was gone. I was thinking about her night and day. I was singing a lovesick song, there she was gone. Now we're mom and dad with a girl of our own, growing like a weed in this happy home. She's got that devil in her mama's blue eyes, but no one realizes how time flies. Until the house is still, no more little girl songs. One day we turned around and there she was gone. I'm an old man now and she's still my girl, spends her days in a long gone world. There's a darker devil hiding in her eyes, telling her she's someone else's wife. She looks at me and says, "Mister, what's wrong?" And right before my eyes, there she is gone. There she was gone. I was searching for her every day. I was singing a worried man's song. There she was gone. There she was gone. Oh, I think about her all my days. I'll be singing an old love song. There she was gone. They got nice drink holders here at Campus Jack's. These are called swirly gigs, and I don't know if you've seen these around. They're fairly common, but they were invented by my first cousin, Sid Tincher, from Minneapolis. And they're sold exclusively by her and her girlfriend, and her wife, actually, have a business selling these things. Yeah. Sid Tincher. All right. All right, let's see. Well, we've been on the pandemic tour for about 3.5 weeks now. Didn't play any shows for 20 months except on the live streams. How many people hooked up with us on the live streams? All right, that's great. We appreciate that. It's not much fun singing into a little tiny camera on your laptop, but we appreciate your feedback and you know, texting us and messaging us and everything in the donations that really did help us get through. I got a little tickle in my throat. But it's really great to be playing live shows again. We're taking precautions. We appreciate you taking precautions for us. We've been in about 17 cities in the last 25 days, something like that. So about 2 weeks ago, I get a message from a guy who was going to come to the Dallas show, which was last week. He asked if I would sign his helmet. He was a soldier from Afghanistan. And I said, wow, what an honor. That would be a first for me. And I knew exactly what song he wanted to hear, a song that it turns out I wrote for him about 7 years ago before I met him. I was trying to live up to Woody Guthrie's edict. Woody said, a folk singer's job is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. Hard times coming home now, can't get your feet on the ground. Got some issues and no one wants you around. Barely sleeping and you can't get through to the VA on the phone. No one's hiring and no one wants to give you a loan. And everyone else is carrying on just like they've always done before. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Flashback to Fallujah, lost another best friend. 3 tours of duty and you're wondering when it's all gonna end. Bodies broken and bones shattered, blood and dust in your mouth. Getting weary but you're running with the few and the proud. Sometimes you wonder why you went, you don't wonder what you stayed on for. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. the same demons. Some you can keep at bay for a while, some will pin you to the floor. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. The bedspread is fraying, faded and tearing apart. Two strangers holding each other in the dark. Tell me, what were you dreaming? How did you think it would end? How many heroes are scattered out into the wind? And all the happily ever afters turn to broken dishes and slamming doors. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Hey, thanks so much. My buddy Wranglin' Ron helped me write that song. He's kind of a bigger-than-life character that I get song ideas from. Sometimes he sends them to me, and sometimes it's just something he happens to say. He's a real character. Last time I saw him, he was headed out to Turling, Texas, about 2 years ago to help a friend of his build a dance hall / laundromat. They thought that's what Turling needed, I guess, but I think construction got messed up by the pandemic and everything. But he stayed in Turling and he started sending me texts about the crazy characters he was running around with down there. And this one turned into a song called The Turling Chili Queen. Sandy worked in Dallas in an office in the sky, chatting up the oil men, her hair peeled up high. Bought designer clothes at the Galleria Mall, dancing in deep Ellum, she was fairest of them all. The husbands in the houses, they'd come and then they'd go, and when the dust would settle, she'd be right back on her own. If you wanna get ahead, you got to do the shuck and jive. So every day it's out of bed and on to 35, putting on mascara in the rear view mirror. In the backseat of her mind, there's a little flash of fear. Is this the life she wanted when she was a little girl? Or is there something more out in the great big world? She started feeling crazy, she started thinking wild. She wondered what would happen if she drove 600 miles. She's planned her getaway, she had the motive and the means. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. After 22 many years chasing wedding rings, she traded in her Lexus, sold off all her things. Bye to fancy dinners, goodbye to therapy. She headed west on 20 with a chili recipe, a half a pack of Salem's and a half a pint of gin, not caring if she'd ever see the Metroplex again. No, she drove all through the night toward that little border town. It's time for starting over, no time for backing down. Sunrise in Turling on the truck stop cafe. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. She found a place in Agua Fria with a kitchen out the back, bought some pots and pans and she started to relax, stirring and a tasting out in the open air. The sunshine on her skin, desert breezes in her hair. She won the chili cook-off, went off to celebrate. She's dancing at La Kiva like she's about to levitate. She kissed a river rat, they started singing, drinking songs. Said, I'm here for a good time, I'm not here for long. Now they're headed for the desert in search of mescaline. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. She drove off through the night toward that little border town. It's time for starting over, no time for backing down. Now she's dancing at the starlight like she was 17. That's how a beaten down Dallas gal became the chili queen. Brand new song. If you tape that one on your phone, please don't upload it because it's not in the system yet. They won't know it's mine. I won't get credit for it. It's a brand new song. Just debuted it in Dallas a week ago. I'm going to, it's exciting. Gotta check my time here. Oh, okay, I got time for one more song here. Let's see. Oh, boy. Well, sounds like I have not done a workplace disaster song yet, so I guess I'll do one now to close out my set. And then I'll bring Robbie Fulks right up. This tour with Robbie's been in the works for, 2 years, I guess. We conceived it, and Robbie and I didn't really know each other. We shook hands very briefly about 20 years ago at a festival somewhere. He thinks it was in Utrecht, Holland, the Netherlands. I think he might be right. But like I said, we knew each other's music enough to think that this would be a nice pairing. And it turned out really great. This is our fifth show out of 6, I guess. It's winding down already. But it's been really great getting to know Robbie and getting to know his music. He's a fantastic musician, and I'll do this one song and then bring him up here, and he'll do a set. And then if all goes according to plan, he'll call me up for 1 or 2 at the end of the night. We'll call it a night, yeah. So this here is a folk song. I guess you guys came to hear the Breakfast in Hell people want to hear some folk music. Yeah. I know it's a folk song because it's 7 minutes long. It's a true story. It happened in Canada. The story was told to me on the spot where it happened by Gurf Morlix. It's in a minor key. I'm using a capo. There's an audience participation part in it. And a guy dies in it. Now, you'd think that introduction would qualify this as a folk song wherever I went in my travels. And it did for 15 years until I got to Glasgow, Scotland, where they are not impressed with a folk song where only one person dies. In the melting snows of Ontario, where the wind will make you shiver, 'twas the month of May up in Georgian Bay near the mouth of the Musquash River, where the bears prowl and the coyotes howl. You can hear the osprey scream. Back in '99 we were cutting pine and sending it down the stream. Young Sandy Gray came to go home bay all the way from PEI, where the withers are rough and it makes you tough and no man's afraid to die. Sandy came a smiling, 30,000 Islands was the place to claim his glory. Now Sandy's gone, but his name lives on. This is Sandy's story. Young Sandy Gray lives on today in the echoes of a mighty yell. Listen close and you'll hear a ghost in this story that I tell, boys, this story that I tell. Now Sandy Gray was boss, so the men who tossed the trees onto the shore, they'd come and go till they built a flow 100,000 logs or more. Then he'd ride them down towards Severn Sound to cut them up in the mills for timber. And the ships would all spring, summer, and fall till the ice came in December. One Sabbath day, big Sandy Gray came into camp with a peavey on his shoulder. With a thunder crack, he dropped his axe and the room got a little bit colder. He said, come on all you, we got work to do. We gotta give her all we can give her. There's a jam of logs at the little jog near the mouth of the Musquash River. With no time to pray on the Lord's day, they were hoping for God's forgiveness. But the jam was high in a devil's sky. They set out about their business. They poked with their poles and ran with the rolls and tried to stay on their feet. Every trick they tried, and one man cried, this log jam's got us beat. But Sandy Gray was not afraid. He let out a mighty yell. I'll be down, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys. It's breakfast in hell. All right, we've arrived at everybody's favorite part, the audience participation part. folk song mainstay. Now this is the easiest part you've ever heard of. I'm not going to give you any words to memorize. I'm not going to break the audience up into the melody part and the harmony part, like Pete Seeger used to do, right? It's just a rhythmic bit, kind of a chain gang heave-ho is what it is. We're all going to be lumberjacks for the next verse while we try to break this log jam down on the Musquash River. Are you willing to help me out on a Sunday night? See, the reason the lumberjacks were so hesitant, the reason they thought they'd, die trying and end up in hell is because they weren't supposed to work on Sundays. So that's why it's breakfast in hell. So we got to get this done or die trying. All right, here's the part. I'll get you started, and then once everybody is doing their part with great vigor, I will start doing the verse. All right, here we go. Everybody now, do it with me. Put your backs into it. Keep it going now. Every one of the men did the work of 10. Sandy scrambled up to the top. He's working like a dog, even 30-foot logs, and it looked like he'd never stop. Yeah, they struggled on, these men so strong, till the jam began to sway. And they dove for cover to the banks of the river, all except for Sandy Gray. All right, you can stop now. I don't know, that was pretty good. I saw some lollygaggers out there not even moving their mouths to humor me. Well, anyway. All right, we'll get back into the song, but before we do, I've noticed that during this part over the years, I can see on their faces that there's always a couple of people, you don't have to raise your hands and you know who you are, always a couple people out there who were concentrating so hard on their part that they didn't hear what happened in that verse. And it's kind of a pivotal verse, so I'll just do a quick little recap. Two big things happened. Good news is we broke the log jam, so we can move on with the story. Bad news is our captain, Sandy Gray himself, did not make it off in time. Now with thoughts of death, they held their breath as they saw their man go down. They all knew in a second or two he'd be crushed or frozen or drowned. Yeah, they saw him fall and they heard him call just once, then it was over. Young Sandy Gray gave his name that day near the mouth of the Musquash River. But Sandy Gray was not afraid. He let out a mighty yell. I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys. It's breakfast in hell. East of Giant's tomb, there's plenty of room, there's no fences and no walls. And if you listen close, you'll hear a ghost down by Sandy Gray Falls. Through the tops of the trees, you'll hear in the breeze echoes of a mighty yell. I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell. And Sandy Gray lives on today in the echoes of a mighty yell. I'll be damned, we'll break this jam, or it's breakfast in hell, boys. It's breakfast in hell. Thanks once again, everybody, for coming out on a Sunday night. I want to thank Christopher for running the show. Robbie Fulks is going to come up right now and dazzle you. All righty.
Slaid Cleaves, everybody. Slaid Cleaves. He'll be outside with his merchandise after the show, so please be sure and meet and greet him. I left you hanging earlier when I said this is the third of 7 shows over 11 days. I need to clarify that. Remember when you were a kid and you had a Sears catalog? And you had just dozens and dozens of pages of toys that you could choose from? My brothers and I used to go through those pages and we'd pick this one and that one and that one. Some of them were way too expensive for us and others were just the right fit. And that's how we managed to put this 11-day deal together. We just had Reckless Kelly, then we had Jesse Dayton on Friday, tonight Slaid and Robbie. Tuesday, we've got Jim Lauderdale and his entire band that are going to be up on this stage. Tuesday at 7:30. So please come back for that one. We'll have a dance floor that night, and we've got plenty of seats left. So Tuesday, the 16th. Then on Friday night, we have Paul Thorne coming to town. And I can tell you all have tickets because it's sold out. Same for Dale Watson on Saturday. Dale's coming in from Memphis Saturday night, sold out show, but we brought him back on Sunday with a dance floor, with his band, and that's the 21st. So please join us for that one. There's a few seats left, but let's get on with this show. I've talked enough. Let's bring on Robbie Fulks.
Thank you. Well, sitting on the front porch, face toward the hill, trail of years behind me, and a night ahead to kill. One glass of whiskey to ease my mind, and another one to take it too far away to find. Staring up at the mountain like to drive me mad. The mountain never changes, so I guess I better hand one glass of whiskey to ease my mind. Oh, and another one to take it too far away to find. Robbie. Rich fast. Next time I'll take the money and I'll put the plan last. One glass of whiskey to ease my mind. Oh, and another one to take it too far away to find. These LA bars are friendly, small town bars are rough. I don't need no more unkindness, the memory's enough. One glass of whiskey to ease my mind, and another one to take it too far away to find. And when I feel I'm sinking low, I reach for the first friend I see. All I need's to look at him and know he's sinking faster than me. Well, life gets stranger the more it goes on. It's a wonder how I worry when nothing's really wrong. One glass of whiskey to ease my mind. Oh, and another one to take it too far away to find. One glass of whiskey to ease my mind, and another one to take it too far away to find. You can tell that I'm a big man in this town, and I'm the king of every street that I walk down. Well, it ain't much to brag about, but it's all mine, yeah. From Main Street to the city limit sign. Welcome to Rock Bottom, population 1. Just over by the mountain where a fool fell from. And if you're looking for heartaches, stop and get you some. Down in Rock Bottom, population 1. Yeah, when I said goodbye to her, I felt so strong. I thought I knew my way, but somewhere I went wrong. takes me way down here. Welcome to Rock Bottom, population 1. Just over by the mountain where a fool fell from. And if you're looking for a heartache, stop and get you some. Down in Rock Bottom, population 1. Yeah, and you can make it your hometown, no matter where you're from. If you come to Rock Bottom, population 1. Yeah, that was good. Thank you very much. Well, it's good to be back in California after a week out with Mr. Slaid Cleaves. We've had a wonderful little run, and it couldn't be better than to be back home here in California among the locals. And so happy to be here and play a little country music for you guys. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot like those last two songs for another 32 minutes. Just giving you a heads up there. And I think I'll do, I don't know, you always want to do, it's a weird show tonight because first of all, my wife's here. That's always kind of like tense, you know? Slaid's wife is here. Of course, Slaid goes everywhere with his wife, and I've been observing their relationship over the week. They have a very amicable and productive relationship because she's like sort of the managerial person of the duo, you know. I don't know if she's selling records out back. She's a very nice lady. Karen's her name, and so some couples have that thing where the one part of the couple you know, generates income and the other person manages it. You know, it's a very rational arrangement. In my marriage, my wife makes money and I lose it. That's kind of the thing we do. It's different. But she's had a few pretty good years now, so that means I can do some more gigs, which is great. I feel like doing some tunes that I haven't done for a little while or haven't done this week. And this one here comes to mind because a real country music titan who worked out of California for many years. Of course, California has a rich country history, but this guy was a true titan. His name was Buck Owens, and I've got an old song that I wrote a long time ago about him. Let's see if I can remember the words to this one. I never knew this place had so much empty space until tonight when you walked right out the door. And so I walked to our bedside and I pulled out that 45 that laid for years behind our chest drawer. At first it looked too worn to play the label off, but washed away then I made out the name of my old friend. 30 years and a scratch or two, but when the needle hit the groove I knew that it was crying time again. The buck starts here with Hank's sure to follow. Turn him up loud and clear. He's singing my sorrow. Let the sad songs roll on through a house filled with tears where the good times are gone. The buck starts here. People in the house next door think I'm tearing up the floor. It's 4:30. My lights are burning bright. But this occasion is no big deal. It's just some boys from Bakersfield that came around to help me through the night. The buck starts here with Hank sure to follow. Heard him up loud and clear. He's singing my sorrow. Let the sad songs roll on through a house filled with tears, where the good times are gone. The buck starts here. Yeah, where the good times are gone. The buck starts here. Thank you very much. It's been a while since I did that one, but give it the old college try there. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, all right. Tell you what, I've got some old songs and some new songs, and it's nice doing a solo show. You can do whatever the fuck you want, you know. You don't have to have a set thing laid out or whatever. And how's that food, by the way? Is that all right? Oh, everybody likes the food. It's unanimous. I've got a new one I'm going to try for you now, and this goes back to the 70s when I was a kid, and I can tell by looking at you, a lot of you were kids in the 70s too, I think, and we played to an older demographic generally, which is fine. Wise demographic. And back when I was a kid, you know, if you remember the 70s, there was this there was sort of sag in the interest level of popular music, I think you would say. We had, I often wish that I'd been born about 10 years earlier, you know, but on the top 40 when I was 10 or so, we had groups like Hamilton, Joe, Frank, and Reynolds, and, you know, the Hughes Corporation, Ambrosia, Montrose, all these acts, you know. Thought, it's okay. But it wasn't thrilling me so much, you know. I was trying to be interested in it and be, you know, we had Kiss, of course, they were big. Trying to relate to my peer group and get into all this popular music, but I just wasn't that into it. But separately, as it turned out, on this other, you know, sort of planet that existed at the same time, there was this other form of bluegrass was being sort of changed and maybe revolutionized by these young guys. And this started becoming apparent to me a little bit from just going to the record store and seeing it happen, but also my parents took me to see this show. We went to bluegrass festivals and such. And this one show in particular in 1973, which was the first time that I saw like Tony Trischka and Sam Bush and a lot of these other people at this one festival, and it just blew me away. And anyway, I wrote this tune about that era. If you don't know the era, I'm going to drop a couple names. It'll be meaningless, but just hang on till the next song. You'll understand all the words in the next song. But there's a couple little in references in this one. And by the way, if you know Sam, I recorded this with him not too long ago, which was a dream come true to sing a song about him and have him play on it. So that'll be out before too long. But this song goes like this. It's a true song now. And Daddy packed a van full of camping gear. Mama filled the ice chest up with beer, and I rode shotgun all the way up Route 15. Well, it seemed every picker in the USA had landed in a Culpeper field that day. 50 years gone, I'm still grooving on that scene. And there was old men doing the buck and wing, young gals skinny dipping in the spring, while the singing and the fiddling and the feedback filled the air. While Mom and Daddy were getting fried, I was sitting there with my eyeballs wide, just coming straight at me off of the stage, just like a demon with a hypno ray, stealing my mind away. It was that long hair bluegrass, setting my young spirit free. Yeah, that long hair bluegrass, a little rough and shaggy, but man, it spoke to me. Hey, what's it matter how a fella looks if his song is true and his playing cooks? I might have known that, but I was just a dumb old kid. Those hippies knew Bob Marley note for note, and they never shoved religion down your throat, and I was pretty sure they smoked dope like I did. There'd have been police and pepper spray if a few old-timers had had their way. Miss Wilma Lee Cooper looked a little unamused. Yeah, but anyone with ears could not deny Blake on the guitar, Tony on the five. There was something in the air for sure. It wasn't all beats and make love, not war. No, it was something more. It was that long hair bluegrass. That was the sound. 73. Yeah, that long. South, and it swept over me. Modulation. Clarence White, that's a name I adore, and John Hartford. Just to drop one more, and don't forget the nitty-gritty band, Earl Scruggs and his sons, Mr. Dave Grisman, and E.M. Monroe is still the king. But now the church has a new wing where a misfit like me can feel at home, singing that long hair bluegrass like old Sam meant it to be. Yeah, that long hair bluegrass. Oh, it wasn't all the greatest songs, and the solos were a little long, but it spoke to me strong, and it still speaks to me. Long hair bluegrass, I remember it well. Long hair bluegrass in the moonlight. Long hair bluegrass, can't stop now singing that long hair bluegrass. Well, it drift away the way. That's going out to whoever's right over here. These guys are into that kind of music, I have a feeling, right over there. Or else they're just drunk and noisy, I don't know. Are there any requests tonight of any sort? Tears only go one way, all right? Anything else? Took a lot of, you guys are old timers, all right. What was that last one? Oh, 70s Jesus. All right, thank you. There's your free bird. All right. The old jokes are still the best ones, I'll tell you what. They really are. It never fails. I've been doing that move for 20 years and bringing that guy to every show to set me up. I'll tell you what, I'll do Tears if my dear friend who's here tonight would consider joining me, because he knows this the vocal part, I believe, on this song. Jeff, would you say yes to an invitation to sing on this? All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Jeff B. Davis, the great comedian and singer and ukulele player, is here to sing for you. He's quite drunk. Dream, 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 when I was drunk in the bar.
And I've had too many whiskeys now. Whenever I love you, all I want to do is drink.
Drink. Drink, drink, drink.
I'm fucking drunk, everybody. Also, here's the thing. To know Robbie Fulks is to know one of the greatest musicians and comedians in the world. If you've not, if you've seen him before, you know how good he is.
All right, let's do this song, Jeff. That's enough.
Wait, what are we doing?
You'll know it. Four walls, two hands, and one sad heart don't make a man much company, but that's all that she left me. My friends say I should find a new direction, and forget these blues, but I don't even have to choose. Tears only run one way, and never back away they came. Tears only run one way, and that's down, down, down. Hey, this guy's good. Our love ran wild. It took us lower, took us higher than the skies. Man, it was a real ride. We kissed, we fought, yeah, we ran cold and hot. There's no direction about the way that I drink right now.
Everybody sing along.
Tears only run one way, and never back away they came. Tears only run one way, and that's down, down, down. Just like that river flow, a tear won't be controlled, though many fools have tried. Not one has turned the tide. And I can't start to drive her from my heart, no matter how hard I burn down the road of no return. Jesus. Tears only run one way, and never back away they came. Tears only run one way, and that's down, down, down. Solo.
Only run one way, and that's not the way they came.
Tears only run one way, and that's down, down, down. Get him out of here.
Robbie Fulks. You don't deserve Robbie Fulks, but you're here. I'm going to go back and drink.
Good idea. All right. That was real fucking funny. I appreciate it. So we had this lockdown here. I don't know if you remember that. And is there anybody out for the first time in a year and a half tonight? Any chance? No? A couple. One clap. Was that Jeff B. Davis? I don't think so. Yeah, it went forever, right? And you'd think that I'd have taken advantage and read War and Peace and written a bunch of songs. I wrote 2 songs, and neither of them is a real, like, MacArthur Park of a song. I'm not being modest. I think you'll hear both of them over the course of the night. But this one is actually, this is a sing-along. I know the last one was sort of a de facto sing-along, turned into one. But this is written as a sing-along. So, that means that the lines that I'm going to sing are followed by rests of equal length so that I can feed you the lyrics. It's that kind of song. Like, would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? If I saw you... Not the best example, but like that. I think this one here... I don't think I'll need to feed you the lines because it's just so fucking well written. I think you're gonna, even though you've never heard it before, I think you're gonna be singing along by the third chorus. I hope you will be, because it is I think it's a song with universal. I mean, it's kind of a silly song or a cynical song, but I think we can probably relate to it. I hope we can. It's called. Well, I'll just sing it. It's in English. Here we go. Bands. We've all been in them. They drive around in vans, sleep on the floor. Their lives are boring, like their recordings. So let's not talk about your band anymore. No, let's not talk about the record business or the way your drummer used to drink, about your young years. I don't share your interest. I just hired you to fix the sink. Bands, we've all been in them. They drive around in vans and they sleep on the floor. Their lives are boring, like their recordings. So let's not talk about your band anymore. You were the darlings of the English press. Who cares? Your fan base was biggest in the Midwest. Who cares? My uncle served in both the Iraq wars. His stories are tiresome, but they're twice as good as yours. So let's focus, if we can, on the plumbing, 'cause plumbing is a boon to humankind. But 5 years of cheap motels and drunken drumming, that's an everyday mistake to leave behind. Sing it with me now. Bands, we've all been in them. They drive around in vans, sleep on the floor. Their lives are boring. If I saw you in heaven, no, they're recordings. So let's not talk about your band anymore. No, let's not talk about your band, yodel now, anymore. All right, thank Thanks very much. I feel like I've done a lot of silly shit tonight. I want to do something a little more serious if you'll come with me for that emotional change of tone. And no, absolutely not. This is another song about when I was, let's see, let me think what song I want to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this song about country life versus suburban life. My wife and I moved to the suburbs. This is going back about 20 years ago to a place outside of Chicago that we almost couldn't really afford, but the school system was good. And by the way, that's when the last kid went away, we had the empty nest. That's when we decided to live. We're like, we're going to frickin' California. That's where life is great. California's the best. Not necessarily Newport Beach, but, you know. Hey! Well, when we got to the suburbs, or anyway, I did. I don't know if she did, but I had a thought pass through my mind that, we're not fancy, wealthy, sophisticated people. I don't know if we're going to fit in this neighborhood. That was my thought about it. I kind of forgot that most people come from, non-fancy backgrounds. And so this song is about, like I said, the juxtaposition of those two worlds, and it has some memories of when I was a kid on the farm in North Carolina. So it's about 80% autobiographical, and the rest is kind of made up. Hope you like it. Back in the driveway, the end of the workday, how fast that world disappears. A fresh lawn, a pine tree, a neighbor just like me that's worked all his life to get here. A man climbs as high as he can, but his heart belongs where it began. I can see in my mind's eye a shack on a hillside and a mean billy goat on a chain, and Dad doing battle with dirt hard as gravel. In summers the crops never came. We'd shoot down a pheasant in flight and sing songs about Jesus all night. And that's where I'm from, where time passes slower. That's where I'm from, where it's yes ma'am and no sir. You can't tell I'm country, just you look closer. It's deep in my blood. Two cars, a picket fence, that's where I've come. Dirt roads and double wides, that's where I'm from. Night school on a fast track and no cause to look back. That place put a scar on my soul, and I swore my young ones would never know hunger. Now the good life is all they know. Well, I've watched them grow, now I see one thing separates them from me, and that's where I'm from, where time passes slower. That's where I'm from, where it's yes ma'am and no sir. You can't tell I'm country, it's deep in my blood. White collar and necktie, that's where I've come. Half naked in the moonshine, that's where I'm from. Well, if you've ever heard Hank Williams sing, brother, you know the whole blessed thing. 'Cause that's where I'm from, where time passes slower. That's where I'm from, where it's yes ma'am and no sir. You can't tell I'm country, just you look closer. It's deep in my blood. A long way down a hard road, that's where I've come. Someplace I can't go home to, that's where I'm from. It's ryegrass in the wintertime, flowers in the spring, but Texas in the summer is nigh on suffering. No offense to Slaid Cleaves. I went up on Jackson Hill at a diner, I sat down, and I waved at every stranger just to move the air around. It's a long ride for the little I gained. Hey, when I left that Brooklyn girl, I never thought it through. She had silk brocade in her bedroom and a job that paid for two. I think I'll get down the old guitar and see what I may find. Get $1 off some lawyer on the number 7 line. It's a long ride for the little I gained. These New York folks treat you kind when your wallet's in your hand, but a 6-string on your shoulder could be the devil's brand. They'll put themselves above you, but for all their strut and brag, I'd trade every brick on Wall Street for one Black Mountain rag. It's a long ride for the little I gained. Hey, road back to my childhood, if I could only go. There's a little girl that stole my heart, and I think she'd like to know. But the road, it goes but one way, and the only goal in sight is to make a bit more in the daytime than I drink down at night. It's long to ride for the little I gained. sing right on key. But I went down and I never found one sang as good as me. They say that there's a wondrous land for any good man that dies. And if it's got drinking and women, then I'll be surprised. It's a long ride for the little I game. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to subtly check the time here and make sure I haven't gone over. I think I'm about at the end of my thing here. So I wish that other song I wrote during the lockdown is a banjo tune, and I don't have the banjo with me anyway. So we'll skip that. I wish I had it here. Pardon? Oh, you just came from a banjo lesson. All right. Okay, so you got a okay banjo with you. All right. Well, it's a little crazy, but I'll try it. What the napkin says here. Call me. Love your corduroys. Oh, nice. I've been trying out a new stage look. I've worn jeans for a lot of years, but I'm an older man now, so I'm going to hang on to this number and talk to that corduroy lady in a little bit. She says it's in perfect tune, so let's see. You hear that okay? Actually, so that was my wife. That was a dumb little setup. And she was kind enough to bring the banjo along over here because Slaid and I were traveling from Phoenix, and my wife and I live in a lovely Atwater village where the banjo music is super popular up there. I didn't expect that to get quite that response, but okay. So she was kind enough to bring it, and I'm going to be unkind enough to play it for you because I'm not really a good banjo player, but I like playing it, and so I sit around the house when there's a pandemic, for instance, and play a lot of banjo. And let's see, how does this lay out? Church bells sounding, dark clouds on the mountain, dog in the pantry acting strange. My old man's calling, each day a new problem, only the worrying don't change. Bolt on the back door and a rocker on the porch, where I rock my cares away. Oh, hearts fall, troubles rise, hopes dim and rain dries. Old time music's here to stay. Plunking on the 5-string keeps my hands from idling, takes me back when I was young. When I'd see some hobo picking on his banjo, I'd plug my ears and run. That electrified guitar I bought in '84 sits back in the closet these days, and to watch the years unreeling, the more I get the feeling old time music's here to stay. Using your mind for what it weren't designed for is a good way to go insane. Me, I've kept less than half of what I pressed in my weak, unwilling brain. When those old songs get down in your bones, you just let your fingers play. Oh, living much makes you humble. Everything built just crumbles. But old time music's here to stay. It's true. So I bolt the back door and sit down on the porch and listen to my fingers play. Oh, what kills joy and sorrow? A little thing called tomorrow. Time music's here to stay. Hearts fall, troubles rise, hopes dim and rain dries. Old time music's here to stay. Well, I fear I've gone 3 or 4 minutes over, which I didn't want to do, but I wanted to invite my good friend back up here. We've been doing shows all week and really enjoying it. Tonight, even though it's the second to last night, it feels like the last night because it's not Santa Cruz, right? That's why it feels like the last. Santa Cruz is always like an epilogue to a tour somehow. But please bring him back up with a warm welcome, Slaid Cleaves. Are we masking for the encore, or?
What's that?
Are we masking for the encore?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Hey, I want to do a song for our friend Kathy Mace, who's watching from on the live stream from Manchester, New Hampshire tonight.
Kathy.
Yeah, Kathy's watching. Kathy's been supporting our music since we were young guys, right? Since the 80s, I think.
Yeah, where'd she work at? Electra or some place like that? Was Electra?
She worked for a big record company, and she supported us, and she's been a big music fan and an early supporter, an early adopter. So, Kathy, I don't know which camera's on now, but Kathy, we miss you. Hopefully we'll see you for too long here.
Yeah, where's the camera at?
Oh, there's some there, and there's some there, and they're all... I'm sure that made her night, Robbie.
Most women like it, I don't know.
I was born in the shadows of a Tennessee mountain, in a slower and gentler time, in a cabin my grandfather built with his head out of hickory, walnut, and pine. We hunted those hills, my father and I, so far from the bustle of town. But I'd soon see a whole way of life start to fade as the mines all began to shut down. I heard saws on the mountain, saw the trucks rumble by, filing past like a funeral line. Those big iron trailers were piled up high with hickory, walnut, and pine. Call it progress or shame when they can't stop the train as it's barreling on down the line. They'll cut down the trees and name your new streets, hickory, walnut, and pine. Well, the mountaintops flattened, the hickory's gone, and the streams run black as a curse. My father's been out in the barn more and more since the mining went bad and then worse. I heard his old saw, I heard his old plane, I heard his cough worsen with time. How I stand where he lays in a box that he made out of hickory, walnut, and pine. My children have left for the big city jobs. I'll remain my fate to unwind. And I'll dream of the days when the wind called my name through hickory, walnut, and pine. Call it progress or shame. Well, you can't stop a trade, and you can't stop the marching of time. They'll cut down the trees and name your new streets hickory, walnut, and pine.
All right, we're going to try for you a tune that I had on a record a while ago. I didn't make it up. It's a song that I listened to since I was a boy, basically. Merle Kilgore wrote it, and we've been closing shows with it. It's a truly depressing song. I don't know, are we closing with it tonight? Or? Okay, we're closing with it. So go home and choke on this one. Sorry, that's a terrible setup. This is a song that's it's another thing that probably everybody situation everybody can relate to, I think. I sit here in this old folks' home, my hair just as white as snow. And I remember back when I was young again, how everything was jolly. How sister did the dance and brother beat the drum, and baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly. That wife of mine, God rest her soul, she's gone on before me. I'll bet she's told the Lord about all the times our house was filled with folly. Sister did the dance and brother beat the drum, and baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly. Those kids of mine are grown up now, they ride every now and then. And just to read the lines brings back the times of all our fun and folly. A sister did the dance and brother beat the drum, and baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly. The man across the hall is a lonely man, he never had a family. So he asks me to tell him about our kids when he's feeling melancholy. Sister did the dance and brother beat the drum, and baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly. Every night I pray for those kids of mine, I wish they were here with me. And before I die, Lord, let me see a sight to make me jolly. But sister did the dance and brother beat the drum, and baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly. Baby rocked her dolly, baby rocked her dolly.
Hey, thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Thanks for letting us play for you tonight. Slaid Cleaves over here. Slaid Cleaves.
Robbie Fulks, everybody. Thanks to Golden on the sound. Beautiful job. Thank you, Christopher, for inviting us.
Wow. How's your wife doing out there, man? She's outdoors tonight.
Yeah, she likes it out there.
Yeah?
She's got a bottle of wine. She's doing all right.
Well, she's got, you probably mentioned it, but she's got all of our bullshit out there for sale, and she's
got the vinyl, she's got the CDs, and she's got the, what do you have, your download card or something? No, it's a thumb drive?
Little, I don't know.
I don't understand that thing.
We're hoping somebody will buy something. But
yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you going to say? I interrupted you.
What are we going to play?
Oh, yes.
Do the one with the background vocals? You want to try and do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we hit on a winner there with that one. We had a discussion at the show in Tucson, maybe?
Yeah.
Which was, who was the greatest songwriter, Chuck Berry or Hank Williams?
Tough one.
I think it's maybe one or the other, in America anyway. How many people say Hank Williams? All right, we're going to do a Chuck Berry song for you.
Oh, well, I feel real good today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just touched ground on an international runway.
Oh, yeah.
Jet propelled to take us right back to the USA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
New York, Los Angeles, oh, how I yearn for you.
Whoa, yeah.
Detroit, Chicago, Chattanooga, Baton Rouge.
Whoa, yeah.
Let alone just to be in my home back in old St. Louis.
Yeah, well, did I miss the skyscrapers? Did I miss a long freeway?
Oh, yeah.
From the coast of California to the shores of the Delaware Bay.
Oh,
yes, I did. Until I got back in the USA.
Oh, yeah. Looking hard for a drive-in, searching for a corner cafe.
Whoa, yeah.
Where hamburgers sizzle on an open grill night and day.
Yeah.
The jukebox jumping with records back in the USA.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm living in the USA.
Oh, yeah, oh, I'm so glad I'm living in the USA.
Oh, yeah.
Anything they run, you got it right here in the USA. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm living in the USA.
I'm so glad.
Anything they want, you got it right here in the USA.
They got it. Oh, yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, I'm so glad I'm living in the USA.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm living in the USA.
Despite everything.
Anything they want, you got it right here in the USA.
for coming out. Really appreciate it.
And like every other musician in the world, they want you to take them home with you tonight. And the merchandise table is full of ways you can do that. Slaid Cleaves, Robbie Fulks. We'll see you all back here Tuesday night for Jim Lauderdale and his band. That's our show. Thank you all for coming.